for joining me on the mat today. We're going to focus our practice on the neck, shoulders, and the cervical spine, a little bit of the thoracic spine, and release tension and stress from our face. Sometimes we sleep a little bit awkwardly, or we hold a lot of tension in these areas, or maybe even from an injury, an old injury, we're feeling some tightness or sore spots. So we're going to give a little attention to stretching and focusing a little bit on those muscles to strengthen those areas as well. I'm seated on a blanket. We'll be sitting for most of the practice and kneeling for a bit. You might want to grab some blocks and a strap. Watch the video all the way through first before you join me here on the mat. Let's take a few moments to connect through our sit bones, drawing ourselves inward and maybe doing a little mental inventory of where we need to focus. Are you feeling any tightness in the shoulders, in the neck? Are we feeling relaxed, or are we feeling some tension or stress today? Day to day could be a very different experience in our body. If we're doing a lot of work on the computer or even traveling, sleeping in a different bed with a different pillow sometimes can cause restless sleep and soreness in our neck. Take a couple more breaths and then just come to a nice soft gaze, a soft space here on the mat. And we'll start with our face. So we'll scrunch up the face and kind of make like we're bit into a sour apple or a lemon, and we're going to scrunch up our face, squint our eyes, and then release with a nice Let's do that a couple more times. Scrunch up our face. And scrunch. Two more. And one more. The next one is called lion's breath, and it's a little silly and a lot of fun. You'll stick out your tongue and you'll either look upward, or if you can, draw your eyes inward towards your nose. This stretches the muscles of the eyes, which is also an important muscle to stretch. If you're looking at a computer screen all day, your eyes get tired, and giving a little attention to those eye muscles are really important to keep them kind of functioning and moving at their best effort. So, fun lion's breath. You're going to stick your tongue out, roar like a lion with a nice and then either look upward or towards your nose. So we're going to try 5 of these. You can rest your hands on your knees. Take a nice deep inhale. 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 Inhale, big lion. And just see what that feels like in your face. Just releasing all of that stress that we don't even know we're holding in that part of our body. So we can take our hands and just kind of press in and give a little massage to our third eye and work our way down. And then right underneath our eye sockets, just gentle pressure, gentle massage, working from the inward, right underneath our eyes and the sockets out, through the cheekbones, and then down the jaw. And just move that jaw back and forth. And then up and down. You're going to take your fingers and gently press into the chin and push the head slightly back. And then release and slightly forward. Do that again. Press slightly back. Make sure you're sitting up straight. And forward. And back. And forward. Make sure you're going straight back. Like you're putting your chin right on a shelf. And forward. And let's do one more. And forward. Okay. Take a gentle side to side, back and forth. Nice and slow. And then drop the chin towards the throat and make a little arc. Look towards the right, chin towards the throat, into the left. Let's do one more. Then circle through the whole head. Nice and slow, working through the crackles, the creaks, the tightness, the soreness. Be aware if you are feeling any tightness or soreness and move through very, very slowly. You want to move to the place where you feel the most optimal stretch, but not through the pain. Just to the place, if you do have any pain, to that place, and then back off a little bit if you need to. Take our shoulders up towards our ears, and then down and up, and down, and up. And then gentle shoulder rolls back. And if it's feeling a little crunchy, just breathe through it and forward. Just settle in for a nice deep inhale and exhale. Take the left hand right on top of the thigh, and you're going to draw that right arm around, wrapping around into a half bind, pressing the back of the hand into the left side, the left hip. So it looks like this from behind. You're going to lift the shoulders up and back, straightening up through the spine, drawing down through the sit bones. Press that left hand into the left thigh for a little leverage, and you're going to drop that right ear to right shoulder. Finding that stretch right in that little V shape, that nugget right here on the side of the neck. If you can drop the ear straight towards the shoulder, and then maybe just a gentle rock side to side, finding that spot that feels right to you. And then draw the chin towards the throat, release the hands, rock side to side. Let's take a nice shrug up and back down. The right hand will rest on the thigh now, and the left arm will wrap around. Draw the shoulders up and back. Gentle leverage, pressing away, dropping the ear towards the left shoulder, lifting the chest, finding the breath, taking a moment to acknowledge what you're meeting here in this part of your body. And then chin towards the throat. Gentle side to side. Let's take a shrug. Exhale down. Let's try that again. Do this a couple of times until we start to feel some relief. So left hand onto the left knee, wrap the right arm around, lift, drop the head. Maybe we're looking up towards the ceiling this time. Maybe we're finding this stretch. Lifting the heart. Make sure we're not leaning to the left, so pressing away. Drop the chin towards the chest. Gentle rock, release. We're working through that neck, this space that does hold a lot of that area. We do experience pain, tension. A lot of our feelings hang out there. Chin towards the throat, side to side. Let's take one more round. Left hand down, right hand around. Maybe point the chin slightly down this time. And over, pressing away. And breathing. Chin towards the throat. Over to the other side. And release. And then just bring your head right on top of your shoulders. We'll do a little looking up and down, side to side, kind of working through. We're working through all of those little tiny muscles that hold and support our neck and are attached to our shoulders, working down the spine. Let's start with looking over our left shoulder. And then make a box looking up towards the ceiling, keeping our chest lifted, our spine long, over towards the right and down towards the chin. Let's do that again. Look to the left, up towards the ceiling, over towards the right, down towards the chest. Left, up towards the sky, to the right, towards the chin. Let's go the opposite direction now. Over towards the right and towards the sky. To the left, to the chest. Right, upward, to the left, and down. Over to the right, up towards the sky. Over towards the left, and down, and gentle rock. Let's take our hands, grasp them together, place the hands right at the base of the neck, the base of the head. Let the head just drop into the hands, lifting the chest, opening up those elbows. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale. Place the hands now at the crown or top of the head. Bring the elbows in, chin to chest. Just a gentle pressure. Let the hands be heavy to find a stretch right at the top and thoracic spine area, base of the neck. And hands at the base of the head, lift up. And once again, right here at the top or crown, Chin to chest. You're doing a little crunch, but lift that chest. And one more. And chin to chest. Bring your hands to your knees and let's just do a couple of rolls. So just this part of our practice, we are starting to feel the effects and maybe some slight release or relief in our neck and shoulders. Take the right hand down to the mat, and you may need to use a block if you're seated up on a bolster or a blanket just for a little lift. And we're going to lift the left arm up and over. Just take a little stretch here. And then reach out like you have a platter in your hand and you're stretching out that left hand and lift up. If this is too much for you, if you do have an injury in your shoulder, you can bring your hands behind your head and just lift that elbow up to what's comfortable for you. This time flip the hand over if you can do that part. And then reach. Up and over. And one more. And press down on that block if you're using the block. If your hand's on the floor, just press down onto the floor. And come back to your start position. If you need to extend the legs, if you're in a cross-legged position for some relief, go ahead and do that and maybe switch the opposite leg on top. Switching to the other side, you can bring that block over towards the left. I like to use the block because I'm propped up on a blanket or lifted up where you can use a bolster as well. And if I bring my hand down to the mat without the support of the block, you can see I'm slightly leaning, and that's bringing or shifting the weight. If I use the block, it gives me a little lift and leverage and something to press down on. So take that left hand and press down, reach the right arm up, and then reach through the fingertips, pressing down onto that block. Inhale, lift up. And reach. Inhale, lift. And reach. And press that right knee down. So this time we're going to reach and then flip that hand over. Reach through the fingertips. And reach. Stretch. And reach. And stretch. You can remove those blocks. Do a few shoulder rolls. And let's give ourselves a hug here, stacking those elbows up on top of each other. Point them forward, navel in. Reach up like you're pulling a sweater over your head and pull slightly back. And then bring the hands right on top of the shoulders and circle the elbows around. And then circle opposite direction. Bring the arms on top again, switching the opposite elbow on top. Point them forward, relax the shoulders, navel in, drawing tall through the spine, and then pull up and over. This time, bring the elbows in towards each other. and then pull back, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other and point those elbows back and down. Come towards each other and spread those wings and come together and back, together and back. Bring the hands behind, fingertips touching the ground, lift the chest, bring the chin towards the chest and gentle side to side. Bring the right ear to right shoulder, point the chin up. Left ear to left shoulder and point up. And one more time, rock. This time we're going to create eagle arms. So you can start like you're going to give a hug to yourself, stacking the right elbow on top. I'll show you a couple different options based on what is possible for you and your body and your range of motion. If eagle arms, pressing the palms together, is too difficult for you, you don't want to pull on the thumb. So the other option is to bring the back of the hands pressed together, or you can wrap your hand around the wrist. If you can't cross or struggling with crossing the elbows, you can just bring the back of the hands together and press the elbows together this way, or just press the palms together and press the elbows. So there's several options for you to try to still be able to do this sequence. So the full expression is stacking those elbows on top of each other, press the palms together, relax the shoulders. And I'll turn sideways so you can see what this looks like. You're going to gaze at the fingertips and lift up. Try to relax the shoulders, so you don't want to pull the shoulders up when you lift up. You want to lengthen through the neck and pull the elbows down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. And down. And lift. And down. Release. Bring the hands behind, stretch. And the opposite. Finding whatever version works for you on this side. Set it up first and then come into the sequence. Lift, find that breath, and relax down. And lift. And lift. One more. And release. Let go. And lift up. Just take another rock back and forth. Bring your hands to your knees and just gently roll. Okay. Bring the hands about shoulder height. You're going to press those hands forward, lift up, and come back. Press and reach, lift up, make big circles. Reach and back. Reach and back. One more. And we're going to go the opposite direction. Lift up, place them down, pull back. Lift up, down, and back. Lift up, down, back, up, down, and back. Make fists with the hands, and you're going to pull those elbows back. Bring the shoulder blades towards each other and push forward. Like you're rowing a machine. Pull back and forward. This is what it looks like from behind. Pull back and forward and back and forward, back. more time. And release. Bring the hands forward like you're holding a big platter, and then you're going to come out, up, and down. Some resistance here. Pull forward, out, up, down, out, up, down, out, up, and down. Now we're going to reverse the action. Lift up, out, together, up, out, together, up, out, together. 2 more, up, out, together, up, out, together. Nice. Grab that strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a necktie, a belt, a scarf, anything that's long. I like to double up my strap and hold it a little bit wider than shoulder distance. We're going to lift up and pull back until you start to feel the ultimate stretch for you. This might be difficult if you do have a frozen shoulder or an injury here, so you might need to either bend the elbows or skip this altogether, and then come forward. Let's inhale back. And forward. And back. Forward. This time we're going to bring that right arm forward and pull the left hand back. So we're not twisting our spine, we're just pulling that right arm across the body and the left arm slightly back, okay? It doesn't have to be too far. You don't want to pull your body out of alignment. Just bring that arm across and center, and then the left arm across, center, right arm across, center, and left arm across, and right. One more time with the left. This time lift up, keep the right arm raised up and the left arm reaches back. Come forward and left arm up, right arm back. Right arm up, left arm back. This is what it looks like from behind. And right. And left. Bring that strap behind you. Roll the shoulders back, and you're going to push that strap down and pull out. Lift the chest, holding. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. In just a bit, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to practice this motion seated first. Hold your hands out in front of you and visualize you're turning doorknobs in opposite directions. So you're going to relax the shoulders down, fingers are open wide, press the palms forward, and then pull out or round out so you're externally rotating through the shoulders, and then in, and then out, in, out, in, roll out, and in. This time we're going to push forward and then pull back. So pushing like you're pushing into the wall, and then pull back, bringing the shoulder blades towards each other. Push in and back, in or out, and then pull back, out and back. Try one more. If this is too much for you, you can also bring your hands to your knees and then try to pull the shoulders back and forward. This is a little bit of a more dynamic action, but you can work up to that eventually as you get stronger and regain hopefully more mobility in your shoulders and upper spine area. Let's find our way to our hands and knees. We'll use our blocks in just a bit. Finding tabletop, shoulders over wrists, fingers open wide. I'm using a blanket to cushion my knees. Take a nice deep inhale. Draw the spine long with just a natural arch, so we don't want to round or sag through our spine. We want to pull up, pressing the mat away, head in line with the spine, looking towards the front of the mat, that front edge, and pulling the navel in, getting a nice strong table here. Let's just round through the neck, just rolling through. This is a nice isolation of the neck movement. Rolling to one side and then the other side. Bring the head neutral and then just look over to the left. And then right. Keep that formation of a nice strong table, left and right, left, right. One more. This time we're going to look up and down, up, down, up, and down, up, and down. Let's take a quick stretch here, just pressing the mat away, lengthen, bring the seat down. So we're going to come back to that doorknob rotation, bringing the hands, again, shoulders over wrists, hands nice and wide, and externally rotate the shoulders, and then out, in, out, in, pressing into the ground, out, in. Make sure we're not lifting our head. That does strain the neck. Just neutral spine, head looking or gaze looking right at the front of the mat. Rotate out, in, out. Draw the shoulder blades in towards each other. Okay. This time we're going to pull the chest forward, but make sure we're not sagging into the spine. So really engage the core, and the actions are all at the thoracic spine, the cervical spine, the shoulders rotating, and you're going to pull down and then push up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Let's do 3 more. Down, up, working those little muscles. Down, up, down, up. Nice. And just rotate through the shoulders. Grab your blocks. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this. I like setting up my blocks at the highest level. They can come down on the side as well. That's also an option. Set them up about shoulder height, so you don't want them too wide or too skinny. So figure out what the right distance is for you. And you might need to move them in or out. Placing our elbows right on top of the blocks. And you can grasp the hands together, or you can come into prayer position. Bring your head down in between the blocks and finding a place that's comfortable just behind the actual bend of the elbow into the tricep area. And bring the hands, either grasp or in prayer, back towards the base of the neck in between the shoulders. Bring your head heavy to sink down towards the mat. You can curl the toes under if that feels good to you, or flatten the feet. And try to melt your chest down towards the mat as you pull your hands back towards that space in between the shoulders. It's a very slight stretch. You might not feel a whole lot through this, but it's very effective. Keep pulling those hands back, heart down towards the mat, breathing. And then come back up to your hands and knees. Move those blocks aside for now. I'm going to give you 2 optional stretches at the end that you can choose if you want to partake in them. That we'll come onto our prone position, onto our belly. I like to bring a blanket underneath my hips for padding. Glue those legs together and we'll place our hands behind the base of our head. These are like reverse crunches, and for some might be a little bit intense, so you can decide if this is the right stretch for you, the right sequence for you and your body. Place the hands behind the head. Press those hips down and you're going to lift up. You might not lift up too high to begin with, and then lower down. Keep your gaze right at the mat, so not pulling the chin in or pushing the chin up and down. Lift up and down, up, down, lift, down. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Place those forearms on top of each other. Take a rest. Take a couple breaths. And then rest your head down onto the mat. You also have an option of taking a folded towel and placing your forehead on top of the towel if you like, for extra cushion. We're going to bring our arms out to the side, bending from the elbow. And we're just going to lift those arms up and then reach out and pull back, out, pull back, out, back, out, and back. 2 more. And come down and lift up, down, up, pulling the elbows towards each other, the shoulder blades towards each other, up and back, down, up, back, down, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. You can press it back into a quick child's pose, pressing away. And come onto your back. The next couple are the optional stretches using a block. this might be a little bit intense for some people. We're going to rest our head on top of one block sitting on its side. I want to position that block right at that base of the head or the top of the neck. And this is a pretty thick block. If I had a skinnier block, it might actually work a little bit better. I'm going to bend my knees and just rock my head side to side, kind of massaging that space, looking from shoulder to shoulder. Kind of gives a little pressure point, a little release into the skull, into the neck. And for me, this feels really good. For some people, it might not feel as good. So I give these stretches, these exercises as options, but they might not fit everybody. So know what works for you and your body and your ability. Drop your knees to one side, gently press yourself up. The last one is kind of a restorative, supported pose. You're going to use 2 blocks. Set the top one up, all the way up on its highest setting, and the other one on its side. You can use the blanket if you like. I'm going to place my spine right on top of the first block with my shoulder blades on each side, and my head is going to rest on the top block. You might need some assistance if somebody's around to help you to find what the right setting is for you. You're going to lean back and place that upper back, the cervical spine, right on top. And then the head is going to rest on top of the first block. Make sure the block is secured, that it's not at an angle or it's going to slip out from underneath you. And then place the hands by the sides, palms facing up, elbows soft. I like my knees bent. And let yourself feel supported on top of the blocks. Resting here, taking 10 deep breaths, maybe closing your eyes, and feeling more open, feeling hopefully some relief from bringing focus to this area of our body and releasing the tension, releasing maybe emotions we're holding onto that hang out in these places of our body. And once again, if you travel a lot, it's good to do this sequence a couple times a week. And just allow yourself to slow down, check in, really acknowledge the work that you did through this practice. Allowing ourselves to embrace this wonderful gift. Changing all of our negatives to positives. Taking this time for you. And then when you're ready, you're going to drop the knees to one side, rolling onto your side for fetal position. And then gently press yourself up to seated. And taking a moment before you rush about, going about the rest of your day, the rest of your tasks. And just soak in this wonderful feeling in your body, taking it with you the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.